Hello and welcome back to West Ham Network on this Wednesday evening, Thursday morning over that side of the water in Brisbane, Australia, and my old pal Kieran. How are you, mate?
G'day, mate. All good. Drizzly, wet morning. Yeah, we've had a beautiful week, but weather-wise, that's just starting a bit of rain today. Not as bad as, even though overnight up in North Queensland, Townsville, got absolutely hammered with 300 mil overnight. So they've got suburbs underwater again.
300 mil?
Yeah, 320 mil, I think it was overnight. Fucking, that's a big dump, seasonal rain. So they have got suburbs underwater and that, and you go, what fun. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, say hello to a few of these in the chat. Good evening, usual. That was, mind you, that was at 4:30 this afternoon, and so was this. Randy, good evening to you. Here we go. 8 o'clock. Mark, good evening to you, Mark. Good evening, Rich, Randy. Right, Budgie and Cieran, how are you both feeling so far with Graham Potter's tenure, as there has been some slight concerns in terms of attacking intent at the moment, despite defence being an improvement? You basically said it all there, Randy. Basically, you know, there's been a few concerns about our attack, but you know, we know that historically Graham Potter's teams are struggling to score goals, so you know it's no different for us, I suppose. You know, but yeah, I think we just got to bide our time and wait and see, really, Randy. I think, you know, a lot of people are saying, "I'll wait till he gets his own players in, etc., etc." I just think, you know, once he's had a window, once he knows who he's going to get rid of and who he's going to get in, I think we'll be all right. Good evening, Mark. Chilled with no game this weekend. It is a very chilled weekend. Blimey. Good evening to you, Damien. Oh, on YouTube, man. Yes, we can see it, mate. Why are you on YouTube, man? You've been naughty, Damien. Right. Alvarez enough to fund another top centre midfield, Andy Dew, for example, and 10 to 15 million pound change to go towards Banzuzi. Don't know who that is, unfortunately. Good evening, Maltese. Thank you for joining, mate.
Jeez.
Brendan, good evening. The chat's favourite tourist.
Brendan.
Yeah, Brendan. Right, it's the usual crowd so far, mate. Everyone's talking to everyone in the chat, so I'm skipping through. Mark Pendleton saying hello. Brendan. Stephen, good evening, Stephen. Thanks for joining, bud. Hey, Budgie, I see Crawley sacked their head coach today. Oh, well, I think he's just lost 5 in a row or something. So, yeah, not surprised. Good evening, Rich. You're going to have to excuse me for a second.
Right.
Yeah, mate. Sneezy. Phil, good evening to you, sir. Evening, Budgie and Aaron.
Mr. C there. Got the E wrong too. Good day, Phil.
Yeah. Who else we got? Daz, good evening to you, bud. Thank you for joining. Damien says, I'll leave it to you, gents. Oh, I'll leave you to it. They are circling around our players. Chelsea want Alvarez, and I'm sure they will be testing us for Kudus. We must stand and have a good show. Damien, thanks for popping in, mate. Appreciate that. Please don't forget to leave a like as you leave. And for everybody else in the chat, please don't forget to give us a little like. Good evening, Gary J. Old man. Good evening. A woman stopped me in.
Old man.
She asked what I knew. I said very little. Oh, brilliant. Love that. Haven't got the glasses on, all of a blur. It's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Mr. Cox, Mark, good evening, sir. From Ramsgate. Well, that's it, really. Okay, so we ain't really got a lot to chat about tonight, apart from the Everton game, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I saw most of the game. I didn't see it all. I thought we could have done a hell of a lot better than we did. I thought we were very fortunate that Everton weren't better than they were. Other than that, very disappointing, really, to be fair.
Oh, I suppose it's whatever your perspective is. I mean, I watched the full game, guys. I got up at 6 a.m. to watch it.
Yeah.
And that first half, Jesus Christ, I was so bored, really bored. But here's the conundrum we've got. All right, Potter's come in, well, we're shipping at least 2 goals a game. You know, we're just conceding far too many goals, and he's corrected that. The reason he corrected that because he plays 7 or 8 defensive players, and plus I thought in that game, Kudus' best work was his defensive work. Yeah. He was superb, and his effort was amazing. But you do suffer going forward then, and you don't offer much. Apart from one little bit of brilliance from Souček, cracking finish, we never really looked like threatening them that much. But they didn't look like a threat to us. I mean, the actual tactics from Potter worked to the 91st minute, and then they didn't. But it wouldn't have bothered me, the result. The result, you know me, guys, I like to watch and enjoy football. And this weren't enjoyable to watch. But
it was far.
Potter will argue that and say, well, we're not losing now. We're not shipping 2 goals. We're probably, since he's come in, we're averaging 1 goal a game conceded. My worry is that we're not scoring many. And to win games, I think we need a clean sheet. That's, if you look at it that way.
To win games.
I said I wouldn't judge Lopetegui till 10 games in, right? And which I didn't. He's 9 games in. And I'm not going to judge Potter till the end of the season because Lopetegui had a window and spent £130 million. Now, all he's done is brought in a striker that's probably not fit and been out for a while. But he's not playing him, which is weird. Yeah. And he's only on loan. I doubt if we'll end up with him. I'm pretty sure we won't.
I doubt it.
But yeah, and so you know what I mean. You can look at the negatives of that. I just don't want to think, because this is what's worrying me, that what he's doing now is what he will be doing next season. And if it is, Jesus, because me, I like to watch and enjoy. I won't be happy with that. And I said to everyone, don't get too high on Potter, don't get too low on him, right? I'm not convinced with him at all myself. So, but you've got to give him to the rest of the season. But I just think if this ends up being the start of play and the setup for next season, Jesus, but we'd need to bring in some players to make a difference. Because there's every chance we won't have the use of Bakatar next year. The ban's probably going to be in place. I'm sure he's going to get one.
Yeah.
Kudos. We might think about sending him to raise money to strengthen the squad and the team. So, yeah, it's worrying because I think we're in for a hard couple of years. I ain't got any of them years to waste watching dross football.
No.
You know what I mean? It is dross. But
Phil wants to know if there's any Shark or Croc updates.
No, mate. We've had a quiet week this week, mate. I think all the seas have been too rough for the Sharks. They've all pissed off.
Five since December, isn't it? 4, 5?
4, yeah, 4 since beginning of January. 5 since December, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had a week off.
Yeah. Apparently, we both look like we're Gonzo's brothers.
All right.
Good evening, Colin. He says, good evening, Budgie. Good morning, Cieran. Always a pleasure joining you two wonderful gentlemen. She flew in from Houston yesterday and watching the show with me. So happy. Well, Colin,
G'day,
really good to hear, mate. I'm glad she's arrived and hope everything goes well between you guys. It'd be good to see. It'd be nice to have some updates in the future. Gary says, I'm as well as I can be, Randy, given the state of things here in the USA. Yeah, and, and similarly to, that comment from Colin, I have somebody that's coming over from the US soon as well. 2 months, apparently, less than. Everybody's saying hello. Oh, man. Are you surprised as me that some fans have supposedly turned? Yeah, I am.
Yeah. I can see their concerns, old man, without a doubt, because I've had them from the beginning.
Yeah.
What? But I look at the positives first. Positives are, I think that team's working hard, really hard. I think we've tightened up at the back. We're a lot more solid. The negatives are, fucking hell, it's boring as fucking batshit. That's the negatives.
And there ain't no goals going in. There's not enough goals going in either.
I think it's not even the goals, geezer. If their keeper, let's say Pickford had pulled off 4 cracking saves with it, the woodwork and all that, and we drew 1-1, I'd fucking be delighted. I mean, shit, that was a good game. But it weren't a good game. It was, and Everton didn't help that either. They weren't fucking that good either, as they're not. But Jesus, we didn't offer much. It was a cracking finish by Souček. And he had, and there again, I see people slagging the fuck out of Souček, right? And he's probably our best player on the day, and scored the goal that could have been the winner. And I go, wow, what is it that you just can't give him any credit, man? Why can't you give Souček credit when he deserves it? Criticise him when he deserves it. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Because I don't care if I love the player or not. And I love Souček, I love Cresswell, I love Sofal, and I like these type of players that work their balls up. But they get criticised when they deserve it. And they get fucking praised when they do. But I see a lot of people here just want to put the knife into Souček for whatever reason.
Yeah. Good evening to you, Mark. He says,
Mark.
Cieran Mohammed. Souček on fair result and good send off to Goodison.
The fans were good to him, weren't they? And it was nice to see. It was good.
It was brilliant. And
Thanks, Steve.
And he was, hello, we're saying, he was equally as magnanimous with the supporters as well.
Yeah, no, it was good to see. You know what I mean?
The way he greeted the players that he knew and everything, I thought it was, very amicable, very nice. Whatever is going on in America, I hope you're okay, Gary, despite what's going on over there, mate. Mark says 4 years of largely unenjoyable football. Absolutely, mate.
That's my issue. That's my issue, mate. I just like to watch it. And I'll tell you what, as a whole, though, Gazer, if you look at the general picture of the Premier League this year, all these top pundits say it's the best league in the world and whatever. Now, think about this, Budge. See, this year, I watch about 2, 3, maybe 4 full games each week and all the highlights from all the others because I've got it all here, right? I can watch any game, whether it's the 25-minute highlights, 10-minute highlights, or the full game, right? I've got it all. And I'll tell you what, the Premier League this year has been fucking average, right? And I mean, when you look at it, all the teams, right, it's been bang average. Now, City have been bang average for what they've been doing, how brilliant they've been over the years. And some of the top players, Chelsea is shit, good now and again. Man United shit, good now and again. Well, probably not even that. When you look at all these teams that have been shit, Forest have been a breath of fresh air. Brighton have been up and down, Bournemouth have been, pretty good, but not brilliant. When you go back, guys, and think about all the players that have been in the Premier League that made it really good, like your Drogba or Hazard, Bales, and Modric, fucking Payet for that year. And there's loads of Bernardo Silva at his best. Fuck me, man. There was so much, a plethora of talent. Even going to
like, remember when Norwich came up and they had Timo Pukki. I mean, he was an exciting little player when he first came up.
But at the top level, Geezer, this year, because De Bruyne has fell off a cliff, right? He's been injured a lot. He's not. But who? Even Haaland's, he's scoring goals, but he's not looking at. Who can you put in that? That they had Hazards or Gianfranco Zola's. These brilliant players. Who in the Premier League this year? Bar Salah. I think Salah's still up there as world class, right? Yeah. But there hasn't been many, man. There's been people who have good seasons, but actual levels of the Premier League this year, I think, have really dropped. It's been a shit. Plus, the 3 teams came up. Shit, all 3 of them. There's no fairy tale stories them surviving or getting out of there. There's none. And all the teams, bar Liverpool.
Yeah, go on. Sorry. Yeah, I was just going to say, James, according to his YouTube, we're an hour early. No, we're always start at 10 o'clock, mate. We always start at 10. 10:30 is the latest we start. The stats were alarming. Was Potter in his 3rd season at Brighton? They went 3 months without a home win on 2 separate occasions. And the other was 3 months without a goal from open play, I think.
Yeah. What was it? Gio dropped that stat the other day on one show. I watched the viz. It shocked me. I never knew that. And I think unless you look for it, you won't find it. But my God, that was worrying.
Even Nick on Claret and Booze, he clipped that.
Yeah, because it took me aback, Geezer. And I was going to mention it on here. And then, like you said, Nick clipped it and showed it because it was, fuck me, really? Because you sort of, you presume he was so good at Brighton all the time. I think that might be a lot to do with my mate, Chris Hughton, that he took over from Chris Hughton and the football was dire under Chris, right? Really dire. And there was a lift or, once he came in and they got better. But, when you hear things like that, you wouldn't know that happened. You'd have to be a Brighton supporter to know this. So that is worrying me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, he weren't on his best, was he, mate? And fair play to Newcastle. Well done, Newcastle. Delight for him.
Yeah.
But he was, Geezer. He's been brilliant all year. But last couple of games, he's been a little bit quiet.
Yeah, Brighton sold a lot of their best players for cash. You've got to factor that in too when you consider him
You do, yeah. Everyone was raping them for their players, weren't they? Yeah. They're all taking them off them. So there is a bit of that.
Well, there you go. That's right, James. So the fans have turned already. Honestly, I know as a club we're a bit of a circus, but it certainly doesn't start and end with the board. No, you're right, because a lot of us fans are very, yeah. I can't think of the word I want to use, but you know, a lot of us are we just want everything now. We want it all our own way. You know,
yeah.
Not always going to happen. Mark said up here, I wanted Will Still, not Potter. And I can understand that, but the thing is that Will Still hasn't yet got the badges in place. And the Premier League won't allow him to do the same job he's doing under the circumstances he's doing in France, I believe.
I mean, I didn't want Potter, but I never look. The reason I weren't fucking screaming, I wanted Moyes to leave after we won that trophy, right?
Yeah.
My worry was, and I said it many times in here, I don't trust that fucking board to bring in the right manager. And when we did get rid of Moyes, or when he left, what did they do? Lopetegui. Another one that I went, oh no, this looks cheap and desperate. And fucking hell, and it turned out disastrous. And now they've gone, someone else out of work, Potter. Now Potter's got a bit more, pedigree in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But still, I thought Potter was underwhelming. But the first signs of him being here, the first few games, I could see improvement. I could see effort. I went, okay, let's see. And like I say, we need to see unfortunately the rest of the season. I just hope we get something a bit more entertaining than what we've seen in the last couple of games. Because like I say, it's never always about results for me. Even the Leicester game was boring as dog shit. We won it 2-0. But my God, it was pretty boring. Yeah, I like to be entertained by football.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I mean, that's why we go for a start. You know, that's why we do what we do. You know, we follow football for them reasons because we enjoy watching a group of fellas running around a patch of grass, kicking a bag of leather. You know, and that's kind of like a piss take way of put it, but that's what we enjoy. You know, that's part of our inner culture. You know, we kind of look. If we wanted to watch a bore fest, every one of us would be watching cricket or tennis or fucking golf or something. You know, because they're a bore fest. Football shouldn't be about that. You know, you've got 22.
Well, I wouldn't be putting golf in there because it's a great game, but one of the best.
Nah.
But you want to enjoy it, and I've enjoyed watching Forest this year. Right.
Yeah,
I like watching Newcastle when they're on it. When Newcastle are on it, even though they're inconsistent this year, they're good to watch, man.
Yeah,
I was delighted for Dan Burn. What a fucking week that boy's had, eh?
Oh,
he got pulled up for England. He scores a goal in the Carabao Cup final. He gets man of the fucking match. And he's probably not finished yet. He'll probably get his debut for England, this week.
They gave it. They did a little celebration thing for him. The fact that he got his goal and that they got the trophy and that in the England camp. Did they? Celebration for him. Yeah.
I'm so delighted for him, and at 32 as well. Good for him. Good for him. I don't believe him. It'd probably be a long stay in England. I don't know. He might get a couple of years out of him, but fair play to him. What a week! What a week to have. Great.
Good night. Oh, good afternoon, Gary. Thanks for popping in, mate. Much appreciated as always.
See you, Gary. Boy.
Do we think that social media plays a part in the pressure on the managers these days? I never remember it being this bad, not just West Ham, but in general. And Phil,
absolutely.
you're bang on right. Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
I think the social media platforms and all the pressure that goes on with that has intensified the pressure on managers, probably
Yeah.
30 or 40%. You know, it's put so much because they have to be so much more careful with what they say and do in public. You know, I mean, ever since social media kind of became the norm, you know, one of the other things that really fucking annoys me about football, which has become the norm, is that, you know, when they're talking on the pitch, you know, you can't determine what they're saying because they're having to be so damn careful all the time.
Yeah.
You know, they can't afford to say anything these days that could be repeated.
Well, the thing I'd say about it, do they have a massive influence? No, but they do have an influence because, and if you get a certain channel, you've seen it with AFTV, like fucking being so negative and negative for a while that, you know what I mean? And you got to admit, they've got a big platform and a lot of people, they encourage other people to be negative and criticise the manager. They just encourage it. So, yeah, I think it does have an influence.
Yeah. Villa away in the cup looked really promising. What happened? Was it because it was a one-off cup game?
Well, two things happened in that with Fulkrug and Somerville. You know, he lost both of them in that game.
Yeah.
And we were good for that 45 minutes with them two boys on, weren't we? But once we lost them two, we seemed to regress. Right. So I think there was a difference in that. We had a striker on the pitch, and he was looking all right for the fucking, 15 minutes he was on. Yeah.
Good Mama!
Evening, Mama. Well done, Mama.
Tsunami in the chat. Tsunami. I'll tell you what, Mama. What a brilliant weekend.
Yeah, well done. Team were brilliant.
Yeah. Mama says, big up the Hammers. Actually, do you know what? Should we invite Mama on the screen for 10 minutes? Let her have a little...
She wants to praise. I thought they were superb. And I'm delighted for her. I'm just delighted that they, you know, weren't one of the big boys again, or Liverpool winning 2 or 3 trophies this year, which they're not now. But, yeah, it was great. And this weren't a fluky one. This weren't defending and nick a goal sort of thing. This was a deserved win, man. Yeah. Deserved. Yeah. I was delighted for Jacob Murphy as well to get the assist for Isaac. Because he's been great. You know, when that was a guy who's just a bang average player. And he's been superb for Newcastle.
Great all-round day.
I like him, man. His effort.
Mama, I have put the link into the chat there. So if you want to pop in and have, 10 minutes chatting about the Newcastle game, please feel free to hit that link. Who else was in? I saw somebody else in it just a minute ago. Oh, there he is. Look. Wally World. Good evening, Wally. Thanks, mate. Thanks for popping in. May not have helped. Yeah. So, yeah, Brendan's agreeing with what you said about that.
Yeah.
Wally said, evening and all. Soucek did a lot scoring the goal. Nice first touch and turn and shoot into that corner.
Oh, it's quality.
Quality. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Mama, congratulations to Newcastle, says Mark. I think we're all on that page, mate. And talking of which, here she is, look. Good evening to you, Mama.
Evening, guys.
How are
you?
I'm all right, thanks.
Good.
All right.
So,
I've just been eating a biscuit.
You could have finished the biscuit first.
So tell us, how have the last few days been for you guys up there?
Well, obviously, I've had other stuff going on, but it's been really strange because everywhere's been so quiet. There's nobody about. There's literally nobody about. Half of them haven't returned from London yet.
And those that have are probably still unconscious on their sofa like that.
Well, there's been loads of businesses reported that hardly anybody turned up for work on Monday. There was coaches booked, and half the people didn't get on their coaches home or anything. They're all still down in London or halfway up and
that's great.
Wow. That's a celebration, that.
I kind of don't expect anything less from you, Geordie people.
You know what they're like.
Party people is like, number one on the list for the Geordies, isn't it? Got to have a good time doing what you're doing. And listen, fair play. What a great weekend.
It's just been Sunday night was absolutely crazy. All you could hear was people singing and chanting and tune armying and it was just
a long wait for a trophy, isn't it? What, 55 years since the last domestic trophy?
No, well, if you want to count the Fairs Cup,
yeah. If we go domestic, then it's was it 55 years? So, but still, even 10 years is a long time, isn't it? And 20 years.
It's a very long time.
It's fantastic, especially Liverpool. You ain't going in there and beating fucking Luton in the final. This is Liverpool, right? And the best team in the league, probably in Europe this year. And that's got a great effort.
I just thought we were awesome. I was quite hysterical afterwards, I've got to be honest. But,
Brilliant. Well done.
Thank you very much. It's
been great seeing some of the scenes, that they show on TV and stuff. It's been nice to see the scenes from the fans enjoying the win, and for the guys and girls that couldn't get to London to go to the final, and that like the bars and the clubs and that opened their doors early and all day for that. Fair play to all of those, and it was well worth it in the end.
They made a fortune.
A deserved win, better team on the day. And showed a lot more desire than Liverpool did, I might add.
Yeah. It was just, I don't know. I didn't believe it. I've got to be totally honest. It didn't sink in because I've been there so many times when Newcastle have come that close.
Yeah.
At
that last hurdle.
We can watch the final on that one, babe. You know what I mean? Like, as West Ham fans, we kind of tend to have that.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like,
and
I was a little girl when they won the Fairs Cup. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah.
And we got a day off school, and they're talking about when they do the open top bus, that all the schools are going to be closed again, and people are going to get time to go into town and meet them.
Excellent. I mean, listen, the city deserves that. The club deserves it. The fans deserve it. And, to be perfectly honest with you, Liverpool didn't bloody deserve it. They didn't play well enough to get anything out of that game. And, as I said, I think Newcastle were deserved winners, and I'm happy. I'm extremely happy that the trophy went to you guys because, Liverpool have got more trophies in their cabinet than enough. So, it's nice that it's gone to a club that, hang on, who's just done that?
No, look, Newcastle supporters deserved it, right? And I've always said this about Newcastle supporters. I always related them to West Ham supporters. They travel, they turn up, they're good working class people, mate, and they give a shit. And even, when we played you the other week, Mama, it's a Monday night down to London, man, and the place was full of Geordies. Their relegation was sold out, man. What an effort. That's a fucking long trip, isn't it?
Yeah,
right? Even if you're playing at 3:00 in the afternoon. I went up to Newcastle, didn't get home till 5 in the morning one day because we missed our train coming out of Newcastle. I ended up on a milk train that went all over the country before we got back to London. It's a big effort. And to do it on a Monday night, man.
Yeah.
But that's what they do. They turn up, man, and they support.
Yeah.
And even in the shit days under Matey, your old fucking owner, they still turned up.
Yeah.
You know, it's fantastic support.
Ashley.
Really.
You mean Ashley?
I wonder I'd love to know what he thinks of what's going on at Newcastle now. I would love to know, because he stripped us bare, that man. Stripped us bare.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you to Colin.
Oh, bless.
Super chatted 20 quid. Fair play to you, mate. A little something for you two wonderful gentlemen for a great show, and I'm in a happy mood, and I will be Jimmy in shower later. All right, okay.
Okay, Colin. He's such a
Colin.
sweetheart, isn't he?
A little bit too much information there, bruv. Rick says that the Geordie fans stayed until the end, and you would expect nothing less from them. Like I said, you know, even if they only had like 15 minutes or whatever to go and get their trains, they would have said bollocks to the train. They're celebrating, you know, bollocks to that.
No, it's
fuck it, we'll get a train tomorrow.
It's been wonderful.
But yeah, brilliant. Well, listen, all I can say is that, you know, Newcastle United deserved that win. It was great to see it. It's good for British football that another club now is rising to the top. You know, baby steps maybe, but it's still happening. And you've taken a trophy away from one of the big boys. That in itself deserves a point.
Something,
you know.
It's a shame. If they're ever allowed to spend money, Newcastle, now we got a threat to the title. But you know the rules. They've made sure you can't.
Yeah, exactly. They were brought in to stop it. A lot of those rules were brought in to stop Newcastle spending.
Yeah.
But there we go. Right, I'll let you two gentlemen get on with your show.
Like Man City and Chelsea and whatever to spend a bloody small fortune, but then a club, on a similar kind of like social level to West Ham, you know, which Newcastle are on a similar social level to us. By that I mean like social level amongst footballing circles.
I think West Ham and Newcastle are similar, and they're still like a working man's club. They're still part of the community, where a lot of the other clubs have moved away from that.
Yeah, and a family-fueled fan base, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like I can still remember back in the days when I was going away games and that, and the two games that I went to at St James's Park, you know, there were families everywhere. Yeah, of course there were a lot of young guys and older guys that were just in groups of lads. But, you know, like everywhere you looked, it was families. It always has been. And it's always been like that with West Ham, you know, Upton Park. It was, you know. But the thing is, you know, with our clubs, if you do take your family to the games, you expect and accept that there is going to be a guy behind you or in front of you or to the side of you shouting and swearing at the referee or whatever the case may be. And if you're worried about it, you wouldn't take your kids.
No.
What I don't like is that nowadays that you know, if you're within sort of 20 yards of a family, you know, it's really frowned upon if you shout, "Oh, for fuck's sake, ref," you know, or whatever the case may be. You get half a dozen people telling you to stop shouting and stop swearing and things. It's completely different these days. Completely different. But
thanks for coming on, Mama.
Yeah.
Well done.
More than welcome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for popping in.
I'm going to jump back into the chat, though, and give you a watch while I drink my tea before I go to bed, okay?
God bless you, my love.
All right, sweetie. Well done.
Right,
go to Geordie.
Yeah, go on the tune, Army.
See you in a bit.
Bye. Bless her. That's great. I love it. Impromptu guests like that. I love it. It's great. So what next for Newcastle, do you reckon?
Yeah, that's a good point, mate. Like I said, if they could spend money like they got, then I think they're a serious threat to winning the league.
Yeah.
But they can't, and that's what's going to hold them back. But Eddie Howe's done a great job of them. Like, the job he's done with Joel Linton, when he turned up, Joel Linton was a striker for Newcastle that couldn't hit a barn door. He's turned him into a box-to-box midfielder, and fuck me, man, the boy is quality, and he's strong, and his effort rates, and he's so good at that role now. You just wouldn't believe it, but there you go.
Earlier on, put Eddie Howe for the next England manager. I think there's a lot of people in the country that would love that.
Yeah, there's plenty of time for that, but
not many.
So we've just got a new one now, so it's going to be many years away, isn't it?
Yeah. There's not many in Newcastle that like the idea, but I'm sure they would get behind him if he was to do it. And another one of the comments that I noticed was, hang on, right there. Mama, fair play to Eddie Howe as well, and hope you build from this and get Champions League again. And the fact is that the other comment that I was trying to find, I haven't seen yet. I believe it was Usual that said it, was that by winning the Carabao Cup, you automatically qualify for the Conference League.
Yeah.
So
unless they finish in a Europa spot or Champions League spot, they'll be doing a Conference League. Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, and Newcastle are a club like, as I said, like West Ham, that they will take that seriously. That competition, they won't do what Tottenham and Villa are.
Oh no, mate! Fucking Eddie Howe, stick another trophy on the board, mate. That's all that matters. Going in the right direction.
And and fair play. I would imagine that they would be favourites or close to favourites in the competition.
I think every Premier League club that qualifies that should be amongst the favourites. Without that. Simple as that.
That says if Newcastle were allowed to spend loads of money, they would win the title. Simple.
Every chance. Well, they'd have a chance. Let's put it that way. At the moment, I think they've been hamstrung by the rules.
Yeah. Mark says Joe Linton is a monster.
Monster, Mark. Absolute monster.
He has become one. I mean, he's from a frustrating, fruitless striker. As you said, he's become a very fruitful.
Honestly, no one. Jacob Murphy there out on the right sort of wing. No one rated him. He was and he's still now and again. He's a bit hit and miss, like he's passing or he's. But the season he's had for him, man, he's brought out the best in that player. And that's why I was so delighted. He jumped up like a fucking salmon gazer, headed that ball back for Isaac, first time, bang, goal. The second goal, that was a crucial goal.
Yeah.
And he goes, shit, well done, son. Eh? Got an assist in the final. Boy deserves it. Had a really good season for him.
Yeah, yeah. And, the other thing, of course, is that, as you said, he's now become Joe Linton, that is, has become a box-to-box midfielder. And, I think, personally, I would rather West Ham were up against Declan Rice in that position than Joe Linton. Joe Linton seems to be far more of a threat as that box-to-box midfielder. I don't think Declan Rice is suited to the role that he's playing at Arsenal. I think he should be given a more free hand like he was at West Ham.
I think he'd get more of it there. I think they're different. I just think they're different. But I just Joel Linton when he's on it. Fuck me, man. It just makes their midfield. You got that Tonali and Guimaraes. Fuck me, them three in the midfield. Because both of them, Tonali, Guimaraes, can pick a pass, can do anything they want. Joel Linton can break up the play. He can push the ball forward, and he does. And it's a good three when they're on it. I think they've been a bit inconsistent this year, Newcastle, when it comes to the league. But they weren't in that final, mate. Everyone had a role. Everyone played the role. They were very good.
Steve said he'd fallen asleep already and forgotten about this. Well, I'm glad you woke up to us, mate. Much appreciated. Joe
wow, yeah.
100 mil player at the moment. You're probably right. You know,
you wouldn't want to lose him, but would they? I don't want to lose him or Isaac or Burns.
No.
or Guimaraes.
Yeah, Guimaraes. That's the one.
And that Tonali, mate. They're all fucking performing. They're all top players. So Isaac's the one they can't afford to lose him because I don't think he's worth more than any striker in the world at the moment. Even Haaland. I mean, he gives you more than Haaland. Haaland will always give you 20 plus goals a season. But Isaac, I think, has got a bit more about his game. He's some player.
Yeah, he might only give you 15 goals in a season, but he'll give you 15 assists and all.
He might give you more than that, yeah, and gives you more of a threat. Jesus, it's hard to mark. But look, watch him move. His movement.
When you see Isaac drive from sort of like, you know, his own half of the midfield section, and he drives forward with the ball, you know, your arsehole goes because you know something's going to go, something's going to happen. Because
it's like anything. When Haaland first turned up the City, the fucking service he had was unbelievable. He had Mahrez, he had De Bruyne, he had Gundogan, he had Bernardo Silva, and Foden. Yeah. He was getting 4 or 5 chances a game, normally taking at least 2 of them. And that's why he's, 36 goals at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Since then, obviously, Mahrez has left, Gundogan left, came back. He's not the player he was. De Bruyne's not the player he was. He's not getting 4 or 5 chances a game. But he's still 20 plus. You know what I mean? He's still going to get you 20 plus. Huh?
Did you say Mahrez has gone back to City?
No, Gundogan came back to City this season. Gundogan. He's been a bit disappointing, to be honest. But the whole team had. But that's the thing with Newcastle, that midfield they've got. Plus with Jacob Murphy doing well on the right. And he got, what's his name that was banned for the final? Johnson, is it? He gets a lot of service too. So it's going to amount to goal.
Midfield free. So powerful.
Yeah, man. They so are. They really are. They're good. But
yeah, that's true, Wally. Isaac can do a sneaky little push too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good at that. Wally, he can do that. And get away with it. How's that?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean we got right, we've got this fucking international break going on at the moment.
Yeah, shit.
What's the game we've got when we come back? Do you know?
Wolves, I mean, guys, we've got Wolves.
Right. Yes, it is. You're right. Well, where are they in the league at the moment? They're top half, aren't they?
They're down the bottom, guys. They're below us.
Oh, are they below us?
Yeah, they're below us, but probably about 7-8 points clear of the bottom 3. I think they're 7 points clear of the bottom 3.
Right, okay. So, theoretically, this should be a 6-pointer then for us.
Sort of. Look, we'll never get Gazer. What are we on? 34 points. We're never being caught by the bottom 3. There's no relegation no more. No, these teams, I'll tell you that now, if any of them 3 teams, it can only be Leicester or Ipswich, are not hitting 30 points. That's how bad it's going to be this year. You're going to survive. I reckon it's going to be less. I reckon 27 points, 26 points could be enough to stay up. and we're on 34, and Wolves are above that too. So there'd have to be you got to get Leicester or Ipswich to go on a 5-game winning. They'd have to win 5 games to even catch up with us. They're not winning 5 games out of fucking 9 or 10, whatever we got left. They're not. They're not. Be lucky to win a game.
Yeah, but like I say, you know, we don't want Wolves catching up with us either.
Yeah, well, Wolves could catch us, but it means one place in the Premier League. That's all it means. Yeah, will we like to stay above that? Not be that 4th team at the bottom? Fuck yeah. Yeah. But Wolves, when you watch Wolves, they actually play some decent football here and there. Especially when Cunha is playing. He was banned, wasn't he? He got sent off being an idiot. So he's been banned. But that Cunha is a top player. That's a guy I could see going to a bigger club next season. And they play some good shit, more entertaining than we are. So I think that game's got a draw in all over it as well. There you go.
James Dane, I don't know who got the man of the match, but Joe Linton was everywhere.
I think Burns did.
Brilliant performance all round from Newcastle and a very good football. Just imagine if the victims nicked an equaliser and won on penalties.
Oh, fucking hell, bro. That would have been sickening.
It would, wouldn't it? That would
happened against us, Jamesy, as you know. I know you're referring to that. Yeah, exactly.
Dad said not going up, they did going down.
No, that's it. Look, that relegation's been decided already. It's done.
Yeah. I mean, we've got who's in there? There's Southampton, Leicester, and Ipswich.
Ipswich. Yeah. Ipswich. Yeah, they're gone, mate. They're all gone.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
It's a shame.
All Southampton are trying to do at the moment, right? They're on 9 points, Skeezer. 11 is the worst season that anyone's had in the Premier League, and it was Derby, I believe, and they got 11 points. They're trying to beat that, so they're not the worst, Southampton. They need one more win. It's hard to see them getting it. But since they brought in their new manager, there's a little bit more fight about it. I'll give them that.
Yeah, have we got to play them?
I don't know, Peter, to be honest. I don't.
If we, because we'd be the ones that are given that fucking 3 points. You what?
I don't know, to be honest. I haven't looked at our running. Well, I tell you what, I did have a look at Nottingham Forest's running, and it ain't bad. It ain't bad. Forest, mate. I think they can maintain. I thought they'd drop off Forest. I always thought that. Hey, Freshy. I always thought they'd drop off Forest, you know, like they all do when you climb the heights. But they haven't. And when I looked at their running, I went, oh, wow, they could finish third. They could even, there's a possibility they could nick second. That would be my hope. They'd nick second from Arsenal. That'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic. I would enjoy that so much.
But, you know, I mean, I quite often talk to Yeti. You know Yeti. He's a Forest fan.
Yeah. Happy boy.
And he's a great lad. Yeah, he's funny as buggery and that. But like I said to him, you know, similarly to the enjoyment I've got out of Newcastle beating Liverpool at the weekend, I am getting a similar enjoyment watching Forest mixing it at the top of the league.
And me.
Similar football thrill, you know. I know they're not my team. It's that football thrill. And, you know, they've got a long and distinguished history in Europe, haven't they, Forest?
The league suffers when one team dominates, right?
Yeah.
Or two teams, right? And that's what we've had for the last 4 seasons. Man City, 4 times league champions. The league suffers for that. You want, and if you can predict the top 4 every year, then really, it's boring. So for someone like Forest to gate crash it, or when Leicester gate crashed it, it's fantastic. All our clubs, right, apart from them, you know, that Sky Sports 6, all the other clubs, I think, will support any other club to gate crash that party.
Yeah.
And we all do. I like seeing Brighton doing well. I like seeing Bournemouth and Brentford doing well. I like to see Newcastle do well. I don't want to see Arsenal do well. I don't want to see Man City do well. I don't want to see Liverpool do well. I don't want Man United to do fuck all, or Chelsea. I want to see someone in there, and it's good. It's good. It's healthy for the league.
Oh God, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Even when we sort of gate crash the top six, you need to. We need teams like this to go there. But I do believe these PSR rules stopping certain teams getting there. You know, when you're forcing teams, and Newcastle have been through it, selling players so they don't break the rules, where they'd rather keep them. You know what I mean? When you think Man City and Chelsea bought leagues because of the money they could spend. Man City, not so much as Chelsea, but Man City brought in a top manager to organise it as well and got there. But they were allowed at that time to spend whatever they wanted. And, Chelsea little bit of dominance was all about the money. It was all about what that fucker spent.
Steve Palmer said, I'm right.
It's a bit.
I'm right. We are the perennial charity givers. Bring your non-scoring strikers, and they'll have a hat trick at the end of the game.
Yeah, I know that's the perception we have, but we're not conceding goals now. We're only conceding one a game, so we should be all right, mate.
Yeah. Sean, you haven't missed Shark and Croc Watch because there hasn't been one this week.
Nothing to report, Shorty. Nothing to report, mate. Everyone's safe this week.
No, we might
even though the Gold Coast beaches, geezer.
Yeah.
The fucking that damage that cyclone did to the beaches with the massive waves that came in. It just destroyed them, geezer. You know, it's about 4 meters high of sand just got smashed down, going back about 8 meters and just washed out to sea.
Wow.
Just like a big drop off now at Surfers Paradise. It's unreal. So they're going to have to bring millions of tons of sand back in to repair it all. It's all been washed away.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, look, Brendan's saying nothing's happened this week, fresh. PSR is not fit for purpose, says Mum.
No, it's not, Mum. It's not right. It's not right. I'd rather go back to fucking spend. Let's go back to Abramovich days. Spend what you fucking want.
Yeah, why not? Isn't it weird though? All these abbreviated things that come into football all turn out to be absolute bollocks. PSR,
blame it on the abbreviations.
On the abbreviations, yeah.
I think they will, Des.
Yeah,
I think we'll get top 4.
Listen, the Forest are definitely going to get top 4. I think. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. I mean, they've been playing some spanking football. In 1973, nobody drowned.
What was that? What event was that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
1973. I was only 11, so I don't remember that far back. But New Zealand did vote the blobfish their fish of the year. All right, we've got Wolves away, Bournemouth at home, Liverpool away, Southampton at home.
We got them guys up.
Brighton away and Spurs at home. How many points from the next 6 games are we picking up, lads?
Ooh,
right, Wolves, Bournemouth.
1, 4. Yeah, I know. The next 6 games, I reckon.
9.
5 points.
9 for me. Right, we're going to get a point at Wolves, a point at Bournemouth.
Tricky.
Yeah, and a point at Liverpool.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
Right. I reckon we might get a point from Liverpool.
No, you're fucking pushing it now, Shep. You're pushing it.
Right.
But most things are that.
So that would give us 3. 3 points from Southampton would be my guess. Nothing from Brighton, because we rarely do. 3 points.
Spurs. I think Spurs at home we can do.
3 points from Spurs. That's the way I'm seeing it. 3 points from Spurs, 3 points from Southampton, and a point each from Wolves, Bournemouth, and Liverpool.
Yeah, I think
maybe the Liverpool one is a bit ambitious. So 8.
What? Good happen. 7 points, I think, would be about right.
As bad as we've been, at least we've got the Spuds.
Yeah, we can take the piss out of them guys. So they're fucking dreadful.
Yeah,
dreadful.
They're
still above us though, even though they're dreadful.
Yeah. It's great to see the top 6 disrupted by other teams.
Every time it is. Every time.
According to Mama Flossie, she's gone for a cup of tea. Yeah, sure thing, Mama. You included, Mama. Good for you, disrupting the Sky 6.
Yeah. We're all everyone was bar Liverpool fans were supporting the Geordies at the weekend.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Oh, mate, well, as you probably already know, my local is a Liverpool pub. I mean,
see, I wouldn't even go in there.
There's probably but they only ever go in there for fucking game day.
I'm joking.
They're not in there. Like 1 or 2 of them are regulars, but most of them are just there for the games and that because they know it's going to get shown in there. But
it was great to see that.
They were not happy with me and my mate Mark dancing round the pub, just singing "Come on the Toon Army" and "Away the lads," and it was great. It was brilliant. I mean, every time I went out for a fag, I was looking at what we call the Liverpool table. We've got these massive tables.
It's brilliant. I'd be right there with you, Budge. I would have been right there with you.
Every time we went out for a fag, we were going, "Away the lads." They fucking hated us. Great. Australian beaches with Saudi investment. New sand. Oh, right. Steve Coogan.
Oh, is it?
Right.
God. Can't ring.
Steve Coogan. Hang on. I'm trying to... Alan Partridge, isn't it?
Yeah, comedian, Funny fucker. Absolutely.
Brendan thinks a maximum of 7. Mandy. Good evening, Mandy. She says...
Yeah, I'm around that 7 mark myself.
Usual's on my boat.
Optimistic.
Freshfield has got it right.
I know. Freshie told me at the beginning of the season we're going to finish 4th. So that tells you where he is. Very positive.
Yeah. Daz thinks it's going to be 9. We should be able to scrape our way to 40 points out of all of that.
Yeah, more. Yeah, I'd say so. That's what I'm saying. Probably 6, 7 points. Yeah, that's where we'll be.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's why they're doomed.
Yeah.
They're doomed. The bottom 3 are doomed, mate.
Fresh says Tower with his 18-point average guess. Old man, 27. What are we going to do? Rob them from some of their points?
Yeah, you don't get extra points for hitting the bar, mate. That's it.
Nice, Colin. I'm really happy for you, mate. Don't have to keep telling us because you're making us all fucking jealous. I think he's talking about the Champions League places here. Says you should do, Mama.
Yeah, they need to. Yeah, they need to push up. They're a bit hit and miss in the league, Newcastle. They need to push up.
They have been. That's the thing about teacups; they can hide 1,000 sins. Anyway, very, very pleased for you guys, giving the best in England a good spanking.
Yeah. Wow.
9 to 12 points Randy's hoping for. Bobby Dazzler and not Bobby George.
I met him a couple of times, Bobby George.
Darts player, yeah?
Yeah, when I used to play darts right up in East London there in near between up Whitechapel and Aldgate East. I used to play in a pub called the Old Blue Anchor. And the team we played, we went away to the pub and he was that was his local pub. And he was sitting at the bar and I had a chat with him. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then he came to the other fixture at our pub. He was just supporting the team.
There's a pub not too far from here, probably about 20-minute drive, right? And, you know, they pride themselves on their dartboards and this and that, and that they have all these tournaments going on. Anyway, so they arranged to have a top dart player, I think it was John Lowe, a few years ago, come to this pub to play a few games of darts with some of the lads, some of the locals, some of the lads from the team and that. But the pub were asking for $5 a game. How many games do you think John Lowe actually played? None. Didn't play one game. Because they're all going, fuck off, mate. I'm not paying $5 to go and play on the dartboard. I play on it every day for nothing. I don't care who I'm playing against. I'm not paying you $5. Fuck off. And the whole pub. And in the end, the pub had to pay. It was John Lowe. Had to pay him $1,000 for coming down, and they made nothing.
I remember because I met John Lowe. Actually, I was sitting next to him. The person I was with was sitting next to him. I was sitting on the other seat on a plane coming back from Ireland. Right. John Lowe was sitting there, right? Because I think he was doing some kind of exhibition out in Ireland. And he was, I remember saying hello to him. He's a big lump geezer. Me. Yeah.
Oh, God. He was showing like 22 stone or something, wasn't he?
He was a big lad, boy, John Lowe, yeah.
The gap between Premier League and Championship is so vast now that 2 from 3 clubs that come up go back.
Yeah, if not all 3, Mandy. The last 2 seasons now, it's going to be all 3. And it just, that's what I say about buying Championship players. All very well, they're great in the Championship, but the step up is quite big. Like I said, some players can do it, and some can't. Like, no problem with Bowen. He done it all right. But Ben Rama didn't. So it's tough, man. It is a big jump, and it's showing. And I haven't got the money. It's as simple as that. As soon as they come up, they don't have the money to turn themselves into a Premier League team. Forest have done well. Since they were, since they came up, they've hung on for a couple of seasons. And now that they're threatening top 4, which they're looking like they're going to get.
Yeah. I'm really pleased for them. Apples and pears, stairs. Yeah, love it. So anyway, let's have a little prediction thing on the Wolves game when we return then.
6-0.
Who to though?
I'm not sure who to, but
it's not West Ham, yeah? I'm gonna go with, I know I said that we probably get a point from Wolves, but I'm gonna go, it's a home game. So I'm going to go 3-1. No, fuck that. No, I'm going to go 2-1. We'd be lucky to score 3 goals. So, I'm going to go with 2-1. What do you reckon?
Tough one. I'll tell you what the difference will be, whether I'm not sure if Cunha is back now, whether he's served his suspension or not. And I think that makes a difference for Wolves because I think he is so good. If he's not playing, I think we win. If he's playing, we're going to draw. So
he is.
I'm going to go for a 2-1 win, Geezer. Presumably he's still not back. If he's playing, though, I've got a caveat saying 2-2.
Right. Daz thinks 3-1 to the Hammers.
That's like it.
Wally thinks 2-1.
He always says 2-1. That doesn't count. He's always saying 2-1.
Mandy thinks it'll be a Desmond. Mama said, thanks for all the love, guys. You guys are the best.
Oh, you deserve it, Mama. You deserve it, mate. It's your week this week.
You know, if you were a Liverpool fan, we wouldn't even let you in the chat, love. That's how it goes, mate. You know what I mean? No, joking aside, it's great to have you popping in. And you know, it's nice that our group are respectful and let's hope it always goes that way.
And they always are.
Mate, listen, you're always welcome in our chat. And
Mama, the reason I've got one of the other reasons I've got respect for Newcastle is 1975. I was 14, going, and my first away game out of London was Wolves. The second one was Newcastle, and I couldn't believe when we got there because we'd done the intercity trains then.
Yeah.
And they stop at the stations before you hit Newcastle, and they started filling up with all the Geordies. I could not believe that the colour, because everyone had a black and white bobble hat. They had a scarf around the neck. They had one on each fucking arm. It was just black and white. Everyone you see, bar us. There's only about 5 of us, right from school. And we had nothing. And everyone was just black and white. And it was before the days that everyone had a shirt, you know? Yeah. But everyone had a fucking scarf around their arm or their neck or the bobble hat on. And you just stuck out like a sore thumb because you had nothing. I couldn't believe that everyone was just covered in black and white. Well, nearly everyone.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's funny you should mention that about, you know, before the time that people were getting shirts and that, you know, because at one time there was never a real market for it, was there?
No,
really?
I don't think you could get them, Geezer. I don't remember. Probably couldn't even afford them anyway.
I remember one time, though, because the school that I used to go to, Thomas Bennett, we had an away kit and a home kit, for our football team. Our home kit was yellow shirt, blue shorts, yellow socks. Our away kit was claret, blue shirt, blue shorts, blue socks, right? Claret and blue. So one weekend I was playing in a school game on a Friday.
Yeah, on the bench. Were you on the bench?
No, I was playing. And at the end of the game, I neglected to put my shirt into the kit bag. And I took it home and I washed it and I dried it on the line outside overnight. And the next day I wore it to West Ham. And the amount of people that were asking me about it on the day.
Yeah. It just weren't a thing then, guys, wasn't it?
It's just my school team shirt, you know?
Yeah, it's just weren't a thing back then.
Yeah. And like loads of people were like, oh, mate, you got a shirt on. Oh, that's good. I like that. And, you know, like guys that were 10, 15, 20 years older than me, you know, were all quite impressed with the fact that I was wearing a shirt back then.
Unusual. Do you know, because my mother was a prolific knitter, right?
Yeah.
And she knew, from the age of 10, she knew I was mad about football with West Ham. And she'd knit a scarf for me. You know what I mean? She'd knit it, claret and blue. Fucking, while she's watching telly, she's non-stop knitting, right? Fucking bang, bang. She done this one scarf because she forgets when to fucking stop, right? It was about 8 meters long, Geezer. You could wrap it around. I wrapped it around my neck 6 times, and it still hit the fucking floor. Still hit the floor, man. I went, for fuck's sake, man. Or mammy, as I would call her. What's fucking doing that guy? Fucking it was fucking gave me a bad neck. Fucking up, holding it up.
Cunha's still out, mate.
Still out. We win then. I'm going for the 2-1 win then, Mark. There you go. Thank you.
Be 2-1. We are away, not at home. So, yeah.
Are we away? To Wolves? Yeah, we are. Oh. Yeah, Kilman, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? He'd like that.
Would be, yeah. Would he celebrate it?
No.
You wouldn't think so, would you?
I don't think so. But it depends how much abuse he gets through the game, doesn't it? That can change things.
Ken, good evening, Ken. He says, "Hi guys, what's your opinion on Potter so far? Are you happy?"
Okay.
I'm going 3-1. Hopefully, Somerville will be back. Well, I'm hoping Somerville's back as well, mate.
Oh, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I think
something back.
We need him.
I heard he's out for the rest of the season, though, Kaiser. We heard that thing the other day from Gio or whatever. He might be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. My opinion on Potter so far is mainly underwhelmed, but happy that we are more of a unit, more defensive unit. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with some of the improvements that have been made.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that more improvements will come and sooner, and in bigger numbers. We could do with our strikers being fruitful. We could do with our midfield being a little tighter and a little quicker.
Yeah,
maybe
the trouble is, our midfield is slow, and that's the thing, and that's what you hope to be changed next
season.
You
would hope that he's working on that, though.
Exactly. Him and his mate. It's pointless judging him. I do worry, though. I have concerns about. I had concerns about Potter before he turned up. I still have the same concerns, but I'm different to other people. I want to watch some good football. I'm not really seeing it. But he steadied the ship, Gazer. He sorted the defence out to a point. And, they're the positives for him. But I'm not convinced by him at all. I'm not. But I think it's too early to judge. I think next season we'll know everything. I just hope the rest of the season. I know the rest of the season's fucked. We're going nowhere, right? But I would like to see a couple of games where it's enjoyable and entertaining and go, okay, and start believing him a bit more. That's what I'd like.
Yeah. Daz is asking, next season, what do you think? I think the Premier League title, Champions League title, and manager of the season. That's what I'm reckoning for next year.
Sounds like a peach prediction. That sound you're going the peachy way.
Yeah, bless him. I was thinking about him earlier. Actually, I was going through some of my old voice notes and that, and there's probably 150 on my old phone from him.
Oh, God, no. Yeah, but I think it is the biggest problem at the moment. I think we need a bit more go-to forward. We need a Joel Linton. That's what we need. We need something in there, man. Really. Even though that young Danish boy, I remember seeing a thing about him. Who mentioned him earlier on? Was it Gio or Gonzo? Gonzo, I think. And I did see one of them highlight clips of that young lad in Denmark or wherever he's playing. Lille he's playing for. Fucking hell, man. The boy, I know it's highlights and you're only seeing the best of him, but my God, the boy's got something about running forward, fucking nutmegging people, picking a pass, scoring a goal. Yeah, I like that. I know West Ham have been linked to him now. So, yeah, I like the idea of that boy.
Yeah.
Really do.
Even Stephen, good evening to you, sir. Do you think Potter will persist? Evan or even Stephen? That's how
I mean, it's Evan. Okay, it's got a fucking A. It's Evan.
Yeah, true. Do you think Potter will persist with Kudus and Bowen up front? And what alternative attacking formation would you like to see?
Well, I'd like to see Fulkrug back and him up there. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, I reckon if he's going to persist with two up front, I'd like to see Ferguson and Fulkrug.
No, I want to see Fulkrug up there. I want to see Bowen on the right, Kudus on the left, bucket, and Paqueta behind them. That's what I'd like to see. I think that gives you more attacking threat. I think Fulkrug could be the catalyst for him to push on a bit, and but I don't know. We don't know if Fulkrug's up to it, whether he's going to be fit, or that's the problem. I just like that first half against Villa when Fulkrug was out there. No, he lasted 10 seconds. It's
an interesting question. What midfielder would you buy?
Cunha. And that young lad I just talked about, forget his name, fucking Danish name, was it? At Lille. I did like him, but I'd seen that a few weeks ago. I don't know. You get sucked in by these highlights. You go, fucking hell, because they don't show you all the other shit he did.
I would like to see us go and get Joe Linton, if I'm honest. If we're going for a midfielder, and we discussed him earlier, I'd like to see him in claret and blue.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Hey,
who would you like to see?
Like
you ain't fucking getting him, Jesus Christ!
But she asked who I would like to see. They asked who I'd like to see. I'm telling you, I'd like to see Joe Linton.
I'm talking about realistically. I'd like to see. I like Gibbs White and I like Cunha.
Yeah,
that's what I'd like to see. But I don't think we're getting either because I think they're destined for a bigger thing.
Yeah, probably, mate. Who do we want to get rid of this summer?
Potter!
David Sullivan.
Well, fucking Ings. Ings got to fucking go, guys.
Evan says he would like to see Fulkrug back as well. And he does say even is fine.
Even Stevens. I think that's better, though. Get even Stevens punch. Well done.
Levels, you devils. Somerville should be with Paqueta, Bowen, Kudus and Fulkrug or Ferguson.
Yeah, I just don't think he's going to be back. So I don't include him.
Haraldson.
Oh, thanks, Randy. Yeah, he's that Haraldson. Fucking hell, man. Where's number 7? Blondie. Beautiful blonde fucking Viking-looking fucker. But thin as fuck. There's nothing of him. But Jesus, got some skill and got some go forward in him. If you can trust them YouTube highlights.
5 next week. Would you let him go?
Absolutely. He's got to go.
Yeah, I would.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you want to be sentimental and give him another year, you can. But I don't think he's ever playing top-level football ever again. Despite how positive he is about doing it. I don't think it's ever happened. So there you go.
Me last. Or is that May last? I don't know. You tell me.
Me last. It's me last.
I'm joking, fuck sake. He says,
right, you want to change? Okay.
What's your guys on the opinion? What's your opinion on Ferguson so far? He can't make his mind up after the sitter that he missed.
Yeah, it's not.
Game rustiness did that to him, mate. In my opinion.
Do you know? It's hard to judge the poor boy. He hasn't hardly kicked the ball and he was injured for a while there. I remember that fucker when he first hit the scene and scored a hat-trick against Newcastle. The boy was on fire for a while there. I'd say there is a talent there, but we haven't seen it yet. Yeah. I'm not sure we ever will. I really don't.
Yeah, chances are, Lynn, we probably will see a bit of Potts next season.
I think he'll be in the squad anyway. He'll be on that bench.
I'm not saying he'll be a first choice, but he'll be there.
No. I think we might be seeing that, mate, because I'm not sure we've got that much money to spend.
Good evening, Tony. Blimey, my eyes.
Yeah, Tony.
Potter has not given him enough opportunities, mate, to impress. Yeah, it's true. Who else have we got? Antonio to be transferred to the DVLA as a driving instructor.
Yeah, it's not the first fucking crash he's had, usual, is it? The second one.
First one was into someone's front room wearing a snowman outfit.
Yeah, it was in the front garden, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah. It's amazing that nobody's questioned him about how fucking fast he was going in Epping Forest, right? No one's questioned that. But when you look at the damage of that car, if I was a copper, I'd be fucking questioning it. Going, what the fuck are you doing?
Like I keep telling everybody, that pictures that we've seen of his car are all after he was cut out of the car by the fire brigade. So all of that damage, most of it is done by...
No, I'm not believing it, Budgie. I'm not believing it. Mate, he smashed his fucking leg in and cracked it in 4 places. Mate, he's doing some speed, isn't he? Doing some speed.
I had a crash some years ago, right?
God knows.
And all you would think is that I'd smashed an headlight. That's all you would think if you saw the car. But they had to cut me out because the door had jammed, it wouldn't open. And mate, that car looked like a piece of tinfoil that a million magpies had tried to get a bloody...
Yeah, but you're about 6 foot fucking 3, and you was in one of them 3-wheelers, weren't you? That's why I had to cut you out.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in there earlier as well, Brendan. Yeah, it was a good show, actually. Always have a laugh, don't they? What else have we got here? Stuck in a board meeting, but could listen in between the gender. The crash was bad. I'm not belittling the fact that the crash was a terrible crash. Like I said, a lot of what you see is after the fire brigade have done their bit. Yeah, that's a good point, Mark. Why is he getting so little time? Perhaps he's just not impressed.
Right. I mean, if you can have 9-10 days on the training field with him and still not pick him, then you can only ask Potter why he's not training. Because he obviously doesn't think he's up to scratch yet.
Tony's saying apparently the car wasn't going too fast, but he did comment it was all over the gaff. Cieran makes you think the tyres were bald. The fact is, it was a car that was too powerful for
a new car like that. I'd never believed they're bald, but this was winter, and something I always remember when I was out in Germany, guys, working there.
Yeah,
the Germans there, and you know what they're like. They're very fastidious about things. They have summer tyres and winter tyres.
Yeah, they do.
And the summer tyres, because they just have no grip on an icy or frozen road. Yeah. And I think that could have been part of it.
Yeah.
That the tyres has got no grip. It was a Ferrari. You know what I mean? It's all about speed and grip on a nice dry road. So they're probably dangerous fucking tyres. And I had no doubt he was speeding. None. But everyone's ignored that.
No, he was doing 27 miles an hour, mate. I'm telling you.
Was that he do? What do you reckon? Because there was a back fucking country road, geezer. Probably 30 miles an hour is the speed limit? 30 miles an hour is the speed limit. Do you think he was doing 30 miles an hour? I fucking doubt it.
He was gunning it, you know he was.
I doubt, yeah. There you go. But there you go. We should not even be paying his fucking wages now for him doing that to himself. If he got done for speeding, save a few quid there, wouldn't we? If we were really nasty, a horrible club, but we're not. We're doing the right thing, boy.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Mate, listen, thank you for popping in.
See you later, son. Cool.
Enjoy your evening with Barbara, and yeah, congratulations, mate. I'm happy for you. Saw you in there, Budgie, talking about volleyed goals TV. Yeah, I was watching. That's right, I was. I was watching a Premier League video of all volleyed goals. There was some corkers in there. Andy Carroll, Skamaka got one in there. Who else? Mark Noble. Yeah, there's quite a few West Ham ones in there. About half a dozen, I think.
Okay. Yes, some of the best goals you'll see when it's on the volley, isn't it? The crackers.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, the one of Noble's. It's when
Is that Leicester against Leicester? That one is it?
I believe it was Leicester. Yeah, when the ball went into the box and then came out the Noble and he hit it and it went right round
straight in the corner, wasn't it?
Fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Corner. Beautiful.
Yeah, that was the season Leicester were trying to win the title, and they scored a late goal enough. It was a penalty or whatever to make it a draw. And I was sort of quite not that disappointed because I wanted Leicester to win the league so much. You know, I weren't that bothered. I do remember that.
Randy thinks that Ferguson was an emergency signing to get to the end of the season. Yeah, and hope. Yeah, striker should go straight into the team.
I think he was a bit of a, sort of an emergency signing. Just seems a bit silly to pay all this money for a loan fee and not play him.
And not use him, yeah. Epping Forest has very sudden, sharp bends.
It does.
And even though you know the road, if you get distracted, maybe by phone, it's easier to lose a car like that around.
So, Mandy, you're accusing him using his phone while he's driving. That's what you're doing there, mate. That's another charge. Speeding and using his phone. Should be banned for fucking 6 years.
And driving without due care and attention.
Yeah, and due care and attention. That as well. That's another charge.
We'll
Mandy's grasped him up. Mandy's grasped him up. He's fucked. She's on the phone now to the old Bill, mate. Tell them. Oh, God.
Ferguson's a great fallback. If we have any more injury problems, we don't owe Brighton more than minimum agreement. Yeah, which was about 4.5 million. 4.5, 5 million, I think.
What he come on at Everton there? What, a fucking 92nd minute or something? It was ridiculous. I didn't see the point of bringing him on.
Point, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying goodnight to you, Budgie Cieran. Take care. Wonderful gentlemen. See you next time.
See you later, mate. See you, Thanks. All the best. Thanks for the 20.
Mate.
We're scored up.
I was in an Alpha years back as a passenger around that road. I have no idea how the driver never hit a tree because 1 second another second you see a tree.
Yeah. I was in I was just a passenger. It weren't your fault then, Mandy. No, of course not.
Yeah.
Not do you. I tell you.
That is not the goal that they showed for the Kudus goal. They did show a Kudus overhead kick. You know the one where Antonio pops the ball over the box and Antonio hits it and the commentator goes, a very special goal from a special player. That's all I can remember. I can't remember what bloody team it was. I think it was in one of the European games, if I'm honest.
No, that's it. Tell you what, when I came back once from Australia, I started work with my mates down in Ashford in Kent. And we'd stay down there above a pub all week, right? And then come back on a Friday. And we're coming back, or whatever that motorway is, back to the M25 before you go round. And fuck me, my mate's driving, and we're in the car, and we had a blowout, geezer. We're doing 100 miles an hour on the right lane, and we had a blowout. And all of a sudden, the car spun, right? And we're going backwards up the motorway, and in front of us, I can see a big Arctic lorry right in front of us. And then we spun again, and then we lost it, and the car fucking flew away back and hit the bank, turned over, ended up, hanging in the seat from the roof. And at that moment, I'm waiting for that big Arctic that I see run over us. But lucky enough, we ended up on the side of the road, you know, the hard shoulder. That's where we landed and stopped. And the truck geezer, he'd come and pulled us out of there. We were just hanging. Man, that was the scariest accident I ever had, man. I thought we were dead, man. Thought we were dead.
Lynn wants to know, do we think we'll sell Kudus in the summer?
Possibly, Lynn. I think it's a 50-50 one, that.
I think the money's right. He's gone.
Yeah. I'm not sure he wants to, but I think
75 plus he's gone.
I think we might not have the funds to push on. I think it's a possibility.
Yeah.
As I think Paquetá will be banned by then. That's why I think we might want to keep him, because I don't think we'll have Paquetá. I think he's going to get some kind of ban.
Yeah. Randy wants to know, even though we're nowhere near the summer window yet, how many players would we like to see come in? I think we're going to need to sign at least half a dozen. You got to remember, we've got 4 players like ending contract.
Yeah, we're going to need at least 5.
Yeah, I think 4 or 5, maybe 6. You know. Halal scored a decent bicycle kick. Not sure who that.
Yeah, cracker. Yeah, was that against Watford, Phil? That just came in my head. Watford. Yeah, he did score a cracking bicycle kick. Because I remember Moyes not giving him credit for it
earlier. I watched it earlier. Yeah, I think it was Watford, mate.
Was it? There you go. It just came in my head there. But I remember Moyes fucking downplaying it, saying, I wish he'd just scored the tap-ins as well. Thought it was fucking outrageous, to be honest.
The Antonio goal, was it against Wolves? Possibly, John, possibly. Good night, all you wonderful people. God bless. Take care. Thank you. Go to bed already, Colin? Yeah.
Yeah, he said good night 3 times. Sort it out, good.
There's one fee for Kudus, 85 million.
In your head, Damien, we ain't getting 85 for him, I'll tell you that now. If we get 60 for him, I'll be amazed. I'll be amazed if we get 60. Huh?
I think that's his release clause though, 85.
I just don't. Unless look, if he tears up the next 9 games, Geezer, and goes bonkers, you got to remember what he's a top player. But what's missing in Kudus' stats are assists and goals. He doesn't have them. So there's no one going to come in with 85 million. I'll be absolutely shocked and amazed. You got to remember, what are they prepared to pay with all these bullshit rules? I think the most you're ever going to get from him is 60, and I'm not sure you get that. But I hope I'm wrong. Good day, Mr. Bollock.
Yeah. David Moyes twisted bollock. What's happening?
Alvarez, Chelsea.
Oh, there we go. Right.
Or rumour shit.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about that in the last day or two.
Yeah, I
can't see it myself.
I don't want him, fair enough. But I think he might want him.
Oh, good God. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, I'm losing Wi-Fi signal. That's what the problem is. Hang on.
All right, sort that out, goes up. Yeah, I don't know. Well, all the players we're going to lose, right? I'm going to say we're going to lose. We're going to lose. Well, we don't want Ings.
I'm having trouble with me.
You right?
Yeah, I'm having trouble with my Wi-Fi. Haller scored 2 of them. Palace as well, I think. Yeah, you might be right there, mate. Loved Haller and Scamacca. God knows how we didn't get anything out of them. We would be lucky to get 50 million because I'm present.
Yeah, Phil was on my side.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite surprised at how many European goals Skamaka got while he was with us. He got, I think, 4 European goals. His first goal.
Yeah, shame. I was a big fan of Allaire, more so than Skamaka, even though I thought he was decent.
Yeah.
But I knew that Moyes didn't want him. You could tell that he didn't want to use him or play to his strengths. So I knew that he had to go. It's a shame.
Apparently, Leeds are interested in Kudus for 60 to 70.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Early days.
Hi guys, is Bowen going to overtake Antonio on goals? As he's not
eventually.
Far away. He's
eventually
probably will, mate. Yeah.
Oh, he will. Without a doubt, he'll overtake it eventually.
Yeah. This would interest you, I think. Kudus in exchange for Kelleher and a bundle of cash.
Oh, I'll take that. Fresh.
I would
All
too.
Right. I rate Kelleher. I'd have him. I reckon he's got to be worth 20 million. Kelleher, right? Minimum. I'd have that. And it depends what the bundle of cash is. But that wouldn't be a bad deal.
Yeah. That's a good point as well, Mark. Alvarez is too old for Chelsea. And they've just bought 2 kids from Sporting Lisbon.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think Alvarez will be going anywhere somehow.
Bongo, why are you calling me name? Budgie, what have I done? What have I said? Oh, look, Chris is in the house. Chris Wines, I think. I'm not sure what happened there. He was a solid player. Look now, Kudus will go.
No, Moyes didn't want him, Chris. It was very obvious if you go back to them days and listen to his press conferences, and he didn't want him. He wanted to play him as a lone striker, which he'd never done before. It didn't suit his system. It's as simple as that. And he pissed Allaire off, and in the end, got rid of him.
Budgie's having trouble with the wife. Haven't we all, Budgie? Haven't we all? I ain't got a wife.
Haven't we all?
I ain't got a wife. Right, well, listen. An hour and 42 minutes in. I'm up with the chat. I think we should be winding down. I mean, we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes talking about shit that we ain't had nothing to talk about. So we've done all right.
One thing I want to say, Geezer. We haven't talked about. You know my mate Ren in the music world of this, God knows what he is, singer, rapper, fucking artist. And
I love him. I think
the guy's seriously talented. And he done that Fire in the Booth 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Me. Oh, no, I'm not a big. I don't know Fire in the Booth. Kieran, my boy, told me about it. He said it's an iconic thing in the UK. Fire in the Booth. You know what I mean? And he done it. Fucking hell. It was some performance, I tell you, for about 6 minutes, just rattling off. And very good. Very good. So if anyone's watched Fire in the Booth, tell me what you think about it, because I thought it was
excellent.
I'm not a big sort of rappy fan, but my God, the talent.
My favourite Fire in the Booth performance was from a lad called Akala.
All right.
And his real name's Jerome, and he's actually my mate's son.
Okay, lovely.
I told you before, I rented a room in the house, and it was my pal's. He split up with his missus, and she took in a lodger to help with the bills, and I was that lodger. And and their children was Naomi and Jerome, which is Akala and Miss Dynamite. I think I told you that before.
Yeah.
So, Akala, I kind of follow him because he's my pal's son.
Yeah.
But I watched his Fire in the Booths. He's done 3, I think, now, or 4. Fucking amazing, Kieran. Honestly, properly good.
Something I've never seen before, Budgie, here. You know what I mean? But because I follow Ren, it came up on my YouTube feed.
The only one that's come close to him, in my opinion, has been Ren. I love him. I think he's great. And he ain't from too far away either. He sort of got his break and grew up and that in Brighton, which is literally 5 miles up the road from me.
No, Brent, honestly, I just know some of the reactors that I watch. Every top reactor there is, especially the Americans, have reacted to that Fire in the Booth by Ren. And they all going, well, fuck me. It's most 99% of them thought it was just amazing. So that tells me a lot too.
Chris wants to know predictions where we will finish. 14.
About where we are now, Chris. About where we
are. Right, that's a long one. I'm winding down. So, how much are we going to get for Danny Ings in the summer? 30
Fuck
bob.
all. Fucking nothing.
30 bob and a packet of chips with salt and vinegar on. What rapper?
Well, I'm talking about Ren, which is REN.
Ren.
But he's not only just a rapper, though. But the boy can sing. The boy can play guitar. The boy can play piano. He's fucking multi-talented. Multi-talented. He's unreal.
Have you seen any of the clips of him doing his busking in Brighton?
Yeah, I see the one he done. I Shot the Sheriff. I've watched it about 20 times. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It's 3 songs he put in there. Road to Zion, I Shot the Sheriff, and that hip hop. You want to go hip hop. That song, is it? Oh, I forget. Yeah, it was. Really good. The busking he done with the band he was with at the time. Fucking fantastic.
Grandmaster Melly Mel, Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel, that would be. Wretch 32 Fire in the Booth is fire.
What? 32 Fire in the Booth?
Yeah. A lot of the rappers have done Fire in the Booth.
Yeah, obviously it's a big thing, guys. I didn't realise how big it was. My boy told me. He said, no.
And another thing that's sort of hit the scene recently, I would say within the last sort of year, is a thing called Tiny Desk Concert.
Oh, I've seen them, guys. I think that's been going for quite a few years.
Oh, is it?
I only discovered it comes up on my feed now and again. And that's good. That Tiny Desk Concert, that's brilliant. Yeah, that's
they
really
are
good.
very good. They are good.
Have some big names on that as well, don't they? Big names.
Yeah, I mean, like they even had like Damian Marley on there, and loads.
I've seen Adele on there, guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Daz. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Daz.
Comments, mate. Yep, could be wrong. Miss Dynamite. Yeah, you're right. Hang on. Grandmaster Flash and
Furious 5, is it? Yeah.
I said a hip hop, a hip to the hip hip. Anyway, I won't go on with that. Although I know every word of the 14-minute rap. Song goes on forever. Right, so everybody's saying goodnight. Phil saying, oh, Ren, yeah, I did see that. It was all over social media. Had an hour-long show with all the Ren songs a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Phil, yeah.
Really good.
I love the one he done with chalk outlines with Chinchilla. Fuck me. What track that is.
I'll tell you what ones I like. I like Screech's Tale.
Oh, Jenny and Screech. Brilliant, isn't it? It's a performance, geezer, isn't it? It's just a performance. Fucking
and High Ren is a really good track.
Oh, that's fun. That's the catalyst. That's the one that sort of set him on his way. High Ren. That is amazing. But again, it's like a theatre performance more than it is a song.
Yeah.
But fuck me. And he done that in one take live, which is unreal. Unreal. It's unreal.
He did a song called Sick Boy. And he removed it from all the streaming platforms and stuff for a reason. I'm not sure why.
No, he removed it, geezer, because the geezer, he used a sample in it, and a guy tried to sue him for it. But then he tore the geezer apart on a fucking diss track and ripped him to pieces. And then he was given back the song.
Right.
But he's got it back now, I think.
He is such a good artist. I mean,
With all the health problems he's gone through, man, he's he needs a lot of credit. You know what I mean?
Crikey, the man's died. Well, nearly died. He's been on the
Fucking hell,
slab
he's been
more
fucked for about,
times. You know, I mean,
he's been
more
fucked for
times.
about 12 years, man. He's still getting treatment for it now. It's,
yeah.
But for an independent artist as well, I like it. You know what I mean? The guy's doing his own thing and he's doing well.
Hit the like on your way out, ladies and gents, says Mark. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Mark.
Appreciate that. Take care, everyone. Off to the Wooden Hill to Bedfordshire. Good man. Prediction for the new year is 16th, followed by a meltdown of negative numptyism when the new season fixtures come out, followed by similar for the new kit, more same for the transfer window. Brilliant. Nicely put, James. Nicely put. I am Bong the Oracle. Right, guys, girls, everybody.
I must say, Greg, before we go, Greg, I don't want to keep dragging it up, but there was one channel I watched the other day, and it was so negative for about 15 minutes, I just gave up on it. And I just, what the fuck, man? We know this season's paling out to insignificance. That's and we're calling it, the longest pre-season ever. So just let it play. I'm bored shitless watching it. That's the fact, and we probably all are. But Jesus, let's not jump on the bandwagon of Potter out or fucking. Let's just see how it plays out.
Yeah.
I still don't believe he's the answer, but we're going to find out because he's going to be here next year, minimum. He's here for next season, this season. I just hope there's a change when it comes to the start of next season, and we need that hope. We need that hope. We can't just say now he's shit, they're shit. Next year's going to be shit. Fuck, I can't go down that road. Fuck me. We just got to hope that we will have a team to put out there that threatens teams, and we start enjoying it again. Exactly. Evan.
Exactly right, Evan.
Good. Let's. You just got to. I mean, I hope we have some games that we enjoy, and might bring a bit of faith back.
Yeah. Milar says, "Love the chat. Cheers, guys. Thank you, and thank you, Randy." Right, well, boys and girls, thank you.
It's your first time. Hang on.
It never ceases to amaze us how many of you get in. Currently, we've got 150 people watching. It was
140 are disappointed.
182 earlier. So thank you, everybody that has tuned in and continues to tune in every week. We really appreciate it. I think we're having a week off next week, Cieran. There's there's no football games. And
between me and you, we've got to come up with something to talk about.
Well, we can do that. We can do that.
We can liaise and sort of say,
yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what. Even if we get somebody on, I'll have a word with Seb or Craig and see if I can get.
No, we don't want fucking footballers on there. They talk too much fucking sense on football.
All right. We'll have a music quiz or something next week.
Yeah, we're going to music, mate. We're down to the music next week.
Yeah, we could.
I'll do some researching.
Yeah, look. We can talk music.
There you go, Mark. We're at it. We're in it. We'll talk music next week.
Cancel what I just said.
Cancel that. We'll come up with something. We'll talk fucking music for a while.
Yeah, mate.
I'm going to dig out some of the old shit and go, do you remember that?
The show must go on. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, you tell him, Mark. Fuck you now.
Get the viewers on. Yeah, that's a good shout, Phil. Stranded liaise.
We can still say
anything. Yeah. Well, do you know what? Music quiz. Yeah, Sean's going with that. Look, I'll tell you what.
Well, get your fucking finger out.
Providing I get the go ahead from the power.
Yeah, well, fuck Brussy B and fucking Anton. We'll just do it, mate. I ain't talking about them.
No, I'm thinking I could, drop the link in the chat and we could have, people popping in and having 10 minutes of whatever they want to talk about. In fact, I'm going to put that across later, tomorrow, and we'll get that on the go, I reckon.
All right. Yeah, we'll do so.
Oh, yeah, guys, wicked. Right, brilliant. Okay, I'm gonna call it a day now. We talk.
Yeah, we can talk bollocks. Exactly, we're good at that. Talking bollocks. I know a bit about that.
Rock. Right, you lot.
You never know. We could have a shark attack by next week, guys. I'm fucking
You
fill it
never
up with
know.
that.
We could even get live footage if we can get Kieran.
See you, Wally.
See you later, Randy. Thanks, everybody.
See you, Randy.
Love, and please continue to hit the like button. And,
yeah, that'd be nice. Make a fucking change. Make an effort.
We will see you all next week. Take care.
See you later, chaps.
Come on,
Night. Bye-bye.
Right, here we go. Outro.